So, no better time to talk about our empath skills and how we make them work for us, not against us, than right in the middle of where there's a natural disaster, which there's natural disasters all over the world all the time. But when one is close to us or involves people that we know and love, it hits differently. And I think that empaths also feel all of the pain, the trauma, the experiences of the world all the time, whether they even know through the news like what is happening. It gets even more intense when it's in your own family circle or in your own friend group and something is going on. But this is what we've been talking about this week is empaths upgrading their skill set so that it actually becomes a superpower instead of a detriment, that they feel everything that all the humans and the creatures and everybody is going to. How do you do that? It is not a quick fix and it is not an easy answer. I wish that I could tell you, like, oh, you just do these 5 steps right here that I'm going to type into a blog. And if you do these 5 things, you're all good. No, it's a lifestyle. It's tending to your vessel long enough that your vessel has the capacity to handle the things that come up. So that when these things come up close to you, like say someone in your own family circle is self-destructing or there's a natural disaster in your own area, you have the bandwidth to be of service instead of just fall apart because you feel everything so intensely that everybody else is going through. I told you all, I really feel the difference in me after years of tending to this vessel when stuff gets real, things actually happen in life that are critical moments that you need to be strong and you need to be supportive of someone else. You can't do that if you haven't refined your own empath skills. You're just down for the count with them. And that doesn't do you or them any good, right? So that's the entire reason I'm doing this 2-year mentorship program at such an affordable investment is I want you to cultivate your energy every day. And that's why, like, as we're doing an overview, refresh, or introduction, wherever you're at with Reiki this month in the energy healing training, that also means Qigong has to be part of Reiki. I really don't think that anyone should be a Reiki practitioner and just sit still or stand and like use their hands. You have to embody the energy practices because what you're doing is you're activating the meridian system. And what I want you to do right now, like at whatever level you're at of understanding the chakra system or understanding how the meridians work or how the light body Merkaba vehicle works and your structure and your energetic anatomy, much less your hara line. These are all different dimensional levels of you that I'm talking about because we work multidimensionally in this program. We don't just work with like 4D healing techniques or 5D healing techniques. You are a multidimensional global healer. And so that means that every cultural modality can work for you. It's not a pick and choose anymore like it was in the dualistic nature of the third dimension, where, like, for instance, me, I was like, I'm not really as drawn to the Eastern traditions. And here I am. Isn't that so funny? I'm not drawn to want to go to Asia. I'm just not that interested. Like, where my heart is like so into First Nation, Indigenous stuff, Hawaiian, Mayan, Celtic, like all that really appeals to my personality self more. But here's the thing, if you're having resistance because right now in the training program, I'm talking about Reiki and Qigong, this is our time as global, multidimensional, interdimensional galactic shaman, we get over our cultural preferences because the threads of truth of how healing works and how our energy bodies work, it transcends any part of the globe. And as all these things are coming out, just like y'all know, I love Graham Hancock because he shares so much like hidden wisdom about Serpent Mound and like all these sacred sites all over the world. Graham Hancock brings all these things to light that shows that all of these civilizations, even the civilizations that have been wiped from time, that were very, very advanced, they all knew the same stuff. So it hasn't been that long that we've forgotten how to heal, how to biohack, how to connect across the universe, and how to use this thing right here, this heart portal, because this Stargate portal can actually help people across the solar system, at least, if not way beyond that, probably beyond that. But we have this technology that has been hidden from us, and it hasn't been hidden from us that long. Okay. So what I'm telling you, empaths, is if you just let your frequency dip because something bad happens, you're not utilizing what you've been given, what you've been created with, and your assignment, your cosmic mission here to stand up tall, to be bright, and to serve this planet and the inhabitants of this planet, all of them, the two legs, the four legs, the flying ones, the crawling, slithering ones, all of them, right? So what a great time for us to like hone in on our empathic abilities. The method and the organization of the information that I'm giving you is for consistency with your vessel, so that by the end of 2026, you have this very different vessel that has so much more capacity to go, yep, this happened, this structural system fell apart, this institution fell apart. People are freaking out that don't tend to their vessel, that aren't here for world service. Not everybody's here for the same thing. You know what you're here for. That's why you're in this program. Okay. So empath abilities come from consistency and tending to your vessel so that your vessel gets stronger. How do you do that? You do that from the moment you wake up to the time your head hits the pillow and you go to sleep. It is a lifestyle. That's why it's taking me so long to say all this stuff. That's why I've got my door open. It's 19 degrees, or it feels like 19. I think it was 29 or something like that this morning. I've got the door open so that I can get the sunrise light codes and I can do my energy work this morning. I don't have these on when I do that. I only have these on so I can see things in the chat and what I'm doing as I'm recording. When I open up that door because it's colder than I want to be, I'm not ready to go outside yet, I get those sunrise light codes as that infrared light therapy is there as my gift for my healing. My healing process has begun for the day, and it will continue. It will continue into water rituals, things that I do with my food, not just I'm getting ready to do an energy healing session. So right now I'm focused on healing. My entire existence is focused on healing. And by that build and that cultivation that's happened for so long inside of me, because I've been doing this for so long, when things really go down and people are freaking out and your clients are calling you and they're like, whoa, what do we do? You know, because the shaman, the etymology of the word shaman, you know it by now if you've been studying with me. What is it? It's the one who knows. And the one who knows is the one that keeps tending to their own garden, to their own kingdom, so that they're really solid and really strong and they have the capacity to show others how to rebalance, how to center. So what I want you going ahead and understanding right now at the beginning of us talking about Reiki Kona's making noise. Sorry. Is Qigong and Reiki should go together because one is moving the energy through your body, which is super important. Super important. Let me shut this door so we can't hear him. Okay, so Qigong, what is it? It's moving the energy through the meridians of the body as a exercise practice. It's moving meditation. So I want you doing that alongside learning the techniques that you can use on someone else, because the Qigong aspect is do it yourself Reiki. Yes, there's the Reiki, there's the self-healing protocol that we're going to go through that takes you all through the body. Like I said, could also be likened to medical intuitive work. So there's that. But what I'm telling you is I'm telling you this on Wealth Day because we still bring things back to the planetary influence of the day of the week in this training. We'll always do that. This is coming to you on Jupiter Day, wealth. We're still building wealth consciousness, like the Kundalini ritual that I gave you, the saltwater ritual that I've been doing, which is phenomenal, that you need to do if you haven't done it, because it's very shamanic to take these action steps. Taking action steps moves you forward, where somebody can learn all the healing techniques in the world. And if they sit on their ass, nothing is going to change. If they don't take inspired action in a shamanic initiation way and just get up, stand up, and do some Qigong, raise your hands to the heavens and raise your vibration, outstretch your hands and breathe and receive all the abundance and all the love and energy that's available to you. Gather, cultivate mana from the earth, gather it and put it in your dantian. Okay, you saw how simple that is and how much time that takes, but do you know how few people will do it? And that's the difference in people becoming successful at whatever they do. That's why I'm coaching you and mentoring you with this much consistency and repetition. There is a reason why I'm doing this program the way that I'm doing it. And like I always say, if you'll just stay with me, if you'll stay with me in this program through the end of 2026, I don't need you to spend this much time with me forever. I promise. I'm getting you somewhere. When we get to the end of 2026, you will step into the new bandwidth frequency that will happen in 2027, a new human. You will have rewoven yourself. And you will be able to do things at the end of 2026 that you could not do yet. Okay? So that's what this is about. And speaking of wealth and Jupiter, another thing I want you to know about our boy, Mikao Usui, as we're coming into our lineage and our family tree of why we do what we do in Reiki, we have to establish all that first. Mikao was also bankrupt and at a total breaking point. Everything in his life was falling apart when the Satori came, when the enlightenment and the awakening came. Because you all know we could call that the dark night of the soul. We could call that a shamanic death. But sometimes we have to get the lowest of low and lose everything and just have a clean slate of nothing so that enlightenment can pour in and consciousness can take hold, because we're no longer grasping for like all the worldly things. We're letting it all go. So you're going to see a lot more of that in the energy that we're in, that if someone hasn't had their shamanic initiation, if they haven't had that mini death, to bring them to the point that they're willing to reconstruct their lives and heal, those are the kind of people that are going to reach out to you and want to work with you, because he was at the 0 point, man. I mean, he was just like, okay, I've lost it all. I don't know what I'm doing here. And all this information came pouring in because this information was in him all along. Your energy field, your chakra system is not someone that you go to a Reiki master for an attunement and they give this to you. It's been in here. It's an activation. Your Merkaba, you had your Merkaba, your light body, you had that before you were born. You've had that for infinity. So if you went and studied with Dronvolo, or you took my class or Dale Jeannie's class or whoever, and you felt like you awakened to your light body, none of us gave it to you. You got it. So what we're doing right now that is relevant to the times we're in and different from learning Reiki back in 2001 when I did is you already have all of this online. All you got to do now is know how to use it. And the quickest way for you to activate yourself, honestly, is to do Qigong practice. So it's so simple that I feel like it evades most people. So you can go to community events and you can do first circle with me anytime you want. When everything aligns, I'll do second circle. It just wasn't the right time to record it. It wasn't the right energy that I wanted to give it to you through the holidays. It was just like too much going on. There was an intervention. There was just a lot going on. So I'm very attuned to when I give you, what information I give you, and why. There's a reason for that. So Qigong and Reiki go hand in hand. You need to be able to define them. All right. Qigong, translated energy cultivation. Okay. Reiki, translated universal life force energy. They're both working with the meridians. What I want you to do, and I'm going to find the image that I like, share it with you. This week, you should get your 1 and 2 Reiki manuals. They're made by Dale and Jeannie, Stacy, my teachers, and they allow me to share them freely. There's no copyright infringements with me sharing them with my students because they're my Reiki mom and dad, just like I'm your Reiki mama. It goes like that in a family lineage. Anything that I give you, this is how it works. Teaching materials that I share with you are able for you to be handed down to your students, which are my grandchildren, right? That's how it works. And that's the freedom and the generous spirit of healing being available for everyone. We are not exclusive. We don't gatekeep in terms of like, no one else can know. Like, I remember when I learned the Reiki symbols, it was so secretive. And people were like, don't show these to anyone that doesn't have the training. And I was just always like, well, they're not going to know what to do with it anyway. I mean, and I like seeing like a chokore or a seiheki in a piece of art or infused into a musical track. I like seeing symbols used because it's the opposite of symbols being used against us to control us. Because see, that's what happened with Illuminati versus Masons. Like if you want to listen to that book, The Women of Lemuria, and it does not matter if you're male or female right now. That has nothing to do with the book. So don't be turned off to the book that it says women. The Women of Lemuria book explains how these secret societies that went underground that were trying so hard to keep all the esoteric knowledge of how energy works and how the body heals and how we feel amazing and stay young and all that. Some of them went the corrupt way of using energy practices for greed instead of for altruism and for win-win betterment of society. And so you can see that in the ones that decided they would be illuminated, the only ones illuminated, and that's just not so. So much sacred geometry and symbols have been used on the masses that are sleepwalking. And what you are doing is you are taking sacred geometry, sound healing, color, vibration, frequency, all the things, symbols, the use of symbols for healing. You're taking that and using it for the good. And so this is why Reiki is as relevant to us right now as Qigong practice. We infuse the two together. They are one and the same. I want you teaching the people that you do Reiki with that there's a lot more to healing than lying down on a table and having someone do something to you and then voila, you have no responsibility in it. No, you have to go out and do your daily Qigong energy cultivation every single day. You do not get a day off from tending to your energy. If you take a lot of days off from caring, paying attention, doing spiritual hygiene, doing your grounding, getting your energy work, sun codes from the sun, if you take a lot of time away from that, you'll feel terrible, like most people do, which leads them down the path of pharmaceuticals and all the control. That is not the way that we live. We live in empowerment. So this is your empowerment for today. Reiki and Qigong go together. And next week, we go deeper. I love you.